Hey everyone, welcome back to Tech Bytes with Leena, your go-to spot for everything data analyst and business analyst careers. If you have been following my channel, you know we have already covered tons of skills, tools and tutorials. SQL, Excel, Python, Power BI, Tableau, all the stuff that makes you a capable analyst. But today we are doing something completely different. We are going beyond skills and diving into the real-world analytics job market. Which companies are hiring data analysts right now, which domains pay the best and are beginner friendly, what kind of work you actually do in each domain, how to prepare smartly to stand out and get hired. By the end of this video, you will have a complete roadmap to target the right companies, pick the right domain, and position yourself as a candidate they can't ignore. So grab a notebook because we are going to make this interactive. Are you ready? Let's jump in and uncover the ultimate beginner's roadmap for data analysts. Why knowing companies matters. Beginners often focus only on skills, not where and how to apply them strategically. Knowing companies and domains help you target the right roles, prepare for interviews, and build relevant projects. Here's a statistic. 80% of analytics beginners fail because they apply blindly without understanding domain expectations. Domains hiring data analyst. Now let's talk about domains where data analysts are in high demand and what your work would really look like in each. Understanding this will help you choose a domain that aligns with your skills and interest. First, technology and software. Each tech company like Google, Microsoft, Meta, and Adobe are constantly looking for analysts to make sense of user behavior and product data. As a data analyst in tech, you might be analyzing how users interact with an app or website, running A/B tests to see which features drive engagement, or creating dashboards to track product performance. For example, a beginner once analyzed Google Play app usage patterns and recommended a small feature tweak. The change actually got implemented in the lab environment. This shows that even early career analysts can make real impact if they understand product metrics. Tools you would use: SQL to query data, Python for analysis, Tableau or Power BI for visualization, and sometimes Google Analytics for tracking user behavior. Next, e-commerce and retail. Companies like Amazon, Flipkart, Meesho, and Big Basket hire analysts to optimize sales, inventory, and customer experience. Your work could include segmenting customers to send personalized recommendations, forecasting inventory to prevent stockouts, or analyzing pricing trends to maximize revenue. A real example: an analyst at Amazon analyzed sales data during festive seasons and identified which products were likely to sell out. This helped prevent lost revenue and improved customer satisfaction. Tools you would use: SQL for data extraction, Excel for quick analysis, and Tableau for visual dashboards. Next, finance and fintech. Big banks and fintech companies such as JP Morgan, Barclays, Goldman Sachs, and Razorpay rely on analysts to understand risk, detect fraud, and optimize portfolios. Work might include building risk scoring models, detecting unusual transactions, or tracking financial KPIs for clients or internal reports. Common mistakes beginners make: focus only on dashboards and ignoring the business context. For example, an analyst might build a beautiful report but fail to flag high risk accounts, which defeats the purpose. Tools you would use: SQL, Python, Excel, and Power BI. Knowing basic finance concept is also key. Next, healthcare and pharma. Hospitals, research centers, and pharma companies like Pfizer and Practo hire analysts to make sense of patient and clinical trial data. Analysts here help reduce wait times, optimize resource allocation, and improve patient outcomes. Real world example: at a hospital, a data analyst analyzed patient flow data and redesigned scheduling. Wait times were reduced by 20%, showing how analytics can directly impact healthcare efficiency. Tools: Python and Excel for data analysis, Tableau for visualization. Domain knowledge in healthcare is a plus here. Next, energy and utilities. Companies like Renew Power, Shell, and Tata Power are using analytics to improve efficiency and sustainability. Work could include predictive maintenance or equipment, analyzing energy consumption patterns, and optimizing resource allocation. For example, an analyst at an energy company used historical sensor data to predict equipment failures, which helped reduce downtime and saved cost. Tools: SQL, Excel, IoT dashboards, and sometimes Python for predictive modeling. Here's a key takeaway. Across all domains, the work varies, but the goal is always the same: turn data into actionable insights that help the business make better decisions. Top companies hiring data analyst. Now that we understand the domains, let's dive into the top companies that are hiring data analysts right now and what makes them exciting place to start your career. I'm going to cover a mix of global giants, local leaders, and even startups, along with real world examples of kind of work analysts do. Google. Google hires analysts for product analytics and huge data sets, helping teams understand how millions of users interact with their products. Here's a real example. An entry level analyst worked on YouTube engagement metrics, identifying patterns that helped improve video recommendations. Even at a beginner's level, your insights can directly impact product decisions. Amazon. At Amazon, analytics is everywhere, from e commerce sales to logistics to supply chain optimization. Real example, a beginner analyst helped forecast which products would sell out during festive sales, preventing inventory issues and improving customer experience. Next, Microsoft. Microsoft hires analysts for Power BI dashboards, Azure Analytics, and product performance tracking. Real example, an analyst built interactive dashboards for Office 365 team that help product managers track adoption and identify underutilized features. Next, Meta. Analysts at Meta focus on user engagement metrics, ad performance, and growth analytics. Real example, a junior analyst tracked trends in user interactions on Instagram stories, providing insights that shaped content strategy. Deloitte and Accenture. These consulting giants hire analysts to work on client projects across industries. Here's a real example. A beginner analyst worked on a retail client project, analyzing sales and inventory data to optimize product placements, showing how consultants solve real-world business problems for clients. IBM. IBM's analytics roles often combine enterprise data, AI, and cloud analytics. Real example, an analyst at IBM helped automate reporting for enterprise clients, cutting down manual efforts and improving reporting accuracy. JP Morgan, Barclays, Goldman Sachs. Finance and investment firms hire analysts for risk analysis, fraud detection, and portfolio optimization. Here's an example. A junior analyst flagged high-risk transactions that help prevent potential losses, showing that even early career analysts have high-impact responsibilities. Flipkart, Meesho, BigBasket. In the retail and e-commerce space, analysts track customer trends, sales, pricing, and logistics. Here's an example. An analyst at Flipkart studied shopping patterns during big sale events and helped optimize warehouse distribution, improving delivery times. Databricks, Snowflake, analytics startups. Startups and cloud-focused companies hire analysts for data engineering support, dashboards, and AI-driven insights. Here's an example. A beginner analyst at a startup helped integrate sales data from multiple sources into a single dashboard, making it easier for leadership to make data-driven decisions. Here's a key takeaway. Whether it's a global giant or a fast-growing startup, the work is meaningful and impactful. The key is to understand what each company values, how they use data, and where you as a beginner can contribute. What work to expect by domain? Now that we know which companies are hiring, let's get a clear picture of what beginners should focus on when preparing for different domains and the common mistakes to avoid. This will help you target your learning and portfolio effectively. Technology and software. Learn product analytics and A/B testing concepts. Practice SQL, Python, and visualization tools like Tableau or Power BI. Understand user behavior metrics like DAU, MAU, retention, and engagement rates. Here are mistakes to avoid. Focusing only on creating dashboards without interpreting results. Ignoring how your insights impact product decisions. Next, e-commerce and retail. Learn sales forecasting, inventory analytics, and customer segmentation. Practice working with Excel, SQL, and Tableau on retail database. Understand KPIs like conversion rates, average order value, and churn rate. Mistakes to avoid: analyzing historical data without linking it to business outcomes. Ignoring operational context like supply chain or logistic constraints. Next, finance and fintech. Learn risk modeling, fraud detection, and portfolio analytics. Practice Python, SQL, Excel, and Power BI on financial datasets. Understand domain-specific metrics like NPA, ROI, and credit risk scoring. Mistakes to avoid: over-focusing on technical coding while ignoring financial impact. Failing to interpret results in a business or financial context. Healthcare and pharma. Learn clinical data analysis, hospital operations, and patient flow metrics. Practice Python, Excel, and visualization tools on sample healthcare datasets. Understand metrics like patient wait times, treatment outcomes, and operational efficiency. Mistakes to avoid: analyzing numbers without understanding hospital workflow or clinical relevance, ignoring data privacy and ethical considerations in healthcare. Energy and utilities: learn predictive maintenance, energy usage trends, and IoT data analytics. Practice SQL, Excel, and dashboard tools with real or simulated energy datasets. Understand metrics like energy consumption patterns, downtime frequency, and operational efficiency. Mistakes to avoid: prioritizing flashy dashboards over practical, actionable insights. Ignoring domain knowledge, which is crucial for understanding equipment performance and resource optimization. Here's the key takeaway. Across all domains, the core of your work is same. Turn data into actionable insights that solve real business problems. But the type of work, the tools, and the business context vary by domain. And that's what makes choosing the right domain so important. Skills you must prepare. Now that you know the domains and what work to expect, let's talk about the skills you need to succeed as data analyst. This is where your presentation really pays off, both technical and soft skill. Core technical skills. SQL. This is your bread and butter. Every domain uses SQL to query and manipulate data. For example, in e-commerce, SQL can help you pull sales data by region or product category to spot trends. Excel. Don't underestimate Excel. It's still widely used for quick analysis, pivot tables, and reporting. Python or R. For deeper analytics, Python or R is essential. From building predictive models in finance to analyzing user behavior in apps, these languages give you the power to handle large data sets. Visualization tools. Tools like Tableau or Power BI help you turn complex data into dashboards that anyone in your company can understand. A well-designed dashboard can actually influence decisions on Google, Flipkart, or Pfizer. Statistics. You need the fundamentals to interpret correct data, understand patterns, and validate your insights. Soft skills. Communication and storytelling. It's not enough to crunch numbers. You must explain your findings in a way that stakeholders can act on. For example, a beginner analyst at a hospital didn't just show wait time data. They told the story of patient flow and suggested schedule changes. Collaboration. Analysts rarely work in isolation. You'll often collaborate with product teams, marketing, finance, or operations. So teamwork skills are critical. Portfolio tips. Your portfolio is your proof of skills. Include real data sets, dashboards, GitHub projects, and case studies. Even a small project can stand out if it shows problem solving and business impact. For example, a portfolio project analyzing sales trends for a local e-commerce site helped a beginner land an interview at Flipkart. Mini project ideas. Here's how you can practice skills across domains. For tech, analyze app usage data to understand which features drive engagement. For e-commerce, track sales trends and create a pricing optimization dashboard. For finance, build a simple risk scoring model for transaction. Healthcare, analyze patient visit data to optimize hospital operations. For energy, track power consumption trends and identify efficiency opportunities. Here's a takeaway. The goal is to combine technical skills with domain knowledge. Your mini projects don't need to be huge, just real, actionable, and well documented. This shows employers that you can not only handle data but also turn into decisions. How to search for jobs and companies. Now that you know the domains, companies, and skills, the next step is finding the right opportunity. Searching for jobs effectively is just as important as having the skills, because the right role can accelerate your learning and career growth. Platforms to use: LinkedIn. This is your main platform. Companies post openings and you can directly connect with hiring managers. For example, a beginner analyst found their first role at a startup by engaging with post in analytics group and commenting thoughtfully on relevant discussions. Naukri and Glassdoors. Great for checking job listings, company reviews, and average salary ranges. You can filter by experience, location, and role type. Naukri and Glassdoors. Great for checking job listings, company reviews, and average salary range. Company websites. Don't underestimate this. Some of the best roles are listed only on official websites. For example, Flipkart posts internships and entry-level roles on their careers portal before they appear anywhere else. Keyword matters. Use the right keywords for your searches. Data analyst, BI analyst, analytics associate, BI developer. Here's a tip. Combine keywords with industry or domain terms like e-commerce data analyst or healthcare analytics associate. This helps you find roles tailored to your skills and interest. Networking and community. Networking can be a game changer. Join LinkedIn groups for analytics professionals, Kaggle competitions to showcase your skills, meetups or webinars for beginners to learn and connect with industry people. Here's a real example. A beginner analyst landed a role at a fintech company after participating in a Kaggle competition, sharing their solutions on LinkedIn and catching the attention of the hiring manager. Resume customization. Always tailor your resume to the role and domain. Highlight relevant skills, SQL, Python, Tableau, mini projects that matches the domain, business impact rather than just technical outputs. For example, if you're applying for healthcare analytics role, showcase projects like patient visit analysis or hospital operations dashboards, not e-commerce sales reports. Here's a key takeaway. Job searching isn't just about applying to 100 postings. It's about strategically finding the right companies, connecting with the right people, and showing domain relevant skills. With a focused approach, even beginners can land meaningful roles. Wow, if you have made it this far, give yourself a pat on the back. You have just gone through the ultimate beginner's roadmap for data analyst in 2026. Today we covered a lot of ground. Which companies and domains are actively hiring, what kind of work to expect in each domain, the skills, mini projects, and portfolio pieces that make you stand out, how to search for jobs, plan your career, and grow. And the best part, this is just the beginning. There's still so much more to master. In the next video, we'll dive deep into interview preparation and common questions, how to structure your answers like a pro, how to showcase your portfolio and real projects effectively, role plays to explain data to non-technical audiences. If you want to take action today, check out my data analyst playlist. It's packed with tutorials, projects, and real-world exercises. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Which domain or skill do you want me to cover next? Or maybe a company you're curious about? Drop your answers in the comments. I read all of them and often make videos based on your request. And if you haven't yet, hit subscribe and tap the bell icon so you never miss actionable career tips for data and business analysts. Remember, skills will get you in the door, but knowing the companies, domains, and how to communicate your work will help you walk through it with confidence. Thank you for watching. Now go apply what you learned today and start building your analytics career.